Hey everybody, it's Sam with Wrestling Overtime, and we're here to do our Raves and Rants review about WWE NXT Wrestling for May 13th, 2020. And of course, we start the show off with a tag team championship match, and that, I guess, kind of surprised me, but NXT has been trying to start with a hot match in order to gain fans, hoping to get them to stay away from AEW's start of their matches. So we're getting Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher versus Imperium. Now, representing Imperium is Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. And like I said, it's for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, I'm glad that they decided on this match. I really can't believe that NXT didn't strip Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne of the Tag Team Championships when it was revealed that Pete Dunne can't get back in the country because of the COVID-19 travel ban. So I was really shocked that they allowed Matt Riddle to pick almost a replacement person in Timothy Thatcher. I didn't really think that it was fair. And as you guys know from previous episodes, I cannot stand Matt Riddle's stoner bro act. And so I'm glad that Imperium put a stop to it 2 weeks ago. Now, this turned out to be a really good match. I love Imperium. I think that they are very disciplined, not only in their characters, but how they put together a match and everything. And I'm starting to like Timothy Thatcher. I like how he wrestles, and I actually can't believe that he puts up with a lot of stuff from Matt Riddle. Like when they came out tonight, Matt Riddle's flip-flop actually hit him in the head. So I was glad that Imperium hit the European bomb on Matt Riddle for the win. Notice I said on Matt Riddle. So Matt Riddle cannot say that it was Timothy Thatcher's fault that they lost the titles. Pete Dunne can't say it was Timothy Thatcher's fault that they lost the titles. So, in my opinion, Matt Riddle only has himself to blame. Now, after a quick commercial, they take us backstage, and Timothy Thatcher is being interviewed. He can't believe Matt Riddle's antics. He doesn't like game shows and the bros all the time. My question is, did Thatcher even watch Riddle before deciding to join him as a tag team? Because Matt Riddle's been doing this since he started in NXT. Well, Riddle comes over and starts shoving him, and then they get into it before referees come to separate them. Next matchup is Tegan Nox versus Indy Hartwell. I've never seen Indy Hartwell, so I was interested in seeing what she could do and how she could handle herself. Of course, looking at the match, I was pretty sure that Tegan Nox was going to win. Now, it surprised me, starting the match, they both talked some trash, and Hartwell actually shoved Nox away when they went for a lockup. It ended up not being a bad match. Nox is growing on me more, especially now that she's away from Dakota Kai. She hit the Shininess Wizard for the pin. Then we get Rhea Ripley's promo. Now, of course, you guys know from listening to previous episodes, I love Rhea Ripley. I think besides Tessa Blanchard, she is the young, hot most talented wrestler out on the scene right now. And so during her promo, she says she wants her title back. Especially, she wants to bring it back to NXT, since Charlotte is parading it around all over WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown. Ripley also says she'll go through Io Shirai if she has to. It wasn't a long promo, but I liked it. Then we see Matt Riddle backstage. Riddle is talking to William Regal on a tablet. And he says, after putting the tablet away, that he got his match against Timothy Thatcher tonight. Just then, Timothy Thatcher walks in and jumps Riddle. He ends up getting what looked to be a desktop computer monitor off of a shelf and hits Riddle in the face with it. He walks out saying, "I'll see you tonight." Then we get Tony Nese versus Jake Atlas for the interim cruiserweight tournament match. Beth Phoenix says mathematically Tony Nese is out of the tournament and is just wanting to spoil things now. Atlas, who was talking to Byron Saxton backstage, admits that he's nervous facing Nese since Nese used to be a champion at one time. He also is hoping that Drake Maverick can beat Kushida, forcing a tie. Now, I have to be honest with you. I thought this match was really, really boring. It may have been where I don't really have a strong liking for either one of them. I wasn't rooting for either one of them, and I wasn't rooting against either one of them. So to me, it was just kind of blah. It didn't draw me in. Atlas ended up hitting the Rainbow DDT for the win, and he moves on in the tournament. Then we see Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly talking. They are on Zoom, and O'Reilly talks about how he's shooting a movie right now. Then Bobby Fish joins him and says he misses them. Then Roderick Strong joins them. O'Reilly talks about how he's been watching them all on TV and they have been killing it. And then Adam Cole has to brag that he just embarrassed Velveteen Dream. However, Strong complains about Dexter Lumis interfering in that match. So the Undisputed Era decide that Roderick Strong should take him on and make him pay. Then we get a Karrion Kross and Scarlett promo. They are saying Ciampa was the first, but he's definitely not the last. Again, not very much to this promo. I was expecting them to say more. If they want Kross to be the strong silent type, hey, that's cool with me. But let Scarlett talk for him. We've got to get to know them somehow, some way. They can't be being mysterious all the time. Then we get another video package. This time it's Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. They talk about their bond of being outcasts and how they plan on hurting a lot of people. I just don't know about that. I know if they sneak up on some people, then yeah, they can, but I just don't know about these two together. They're mostly single wrestlers. Are they going to form a tag team, or are they just going to be backups for each other? Then, again, we get Swerve Scott backstage. And he's talking about Tony Nese. And kind of in a way, he's talking about Jack Gallagher. Because he says, if I couldn't get a singles win the whole tournament, I probably would just quit wrestling together. Then we get another promo. This time it's Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and later Road Dogg walks in. And they talk about how tomorrow, Thursday, marks the 25th anniversary of the very first In Your House special. So they decide to announce NXT TakeOver In Your House on June 7th. Now, I have to question all of this. What is up with all these video packages and promos stuck together? I mean, it's like one right after another. Could they not put them around the matches in between them? Spread them out some? It's almost kind of crazy that, I mean, we're having a promo, and then a video package, and a commercial, and then a video package, and then a promo. I mean, it got kind of tedious there for a little while. But they decide to get back to the matches, and of course, they give us Finn Balor versus Cameron Grimes. Now, as you guys know, I love Finn Balor. I think he's unbelievable. And I can't stand Grimes. I don't understand his gimmick, and he's one of those I just want off my TV. But they allowed this to be back and forth until the commercial break. And then we saw, coming back from commercial, Finn hit the sling blade, and the tide kind of turned then. Well, we see Damian Priest suddenly appear from what would have been the crowd area. But Finn Balor also saw him, and he took him out. Grimes had been out of the ring, so he rolled Cameron Grimes back into the ring, and while the ref was checking on Cameron Grimes, Priest gets back up and hits Finn Balor in the knee with his nightstick. Grimes definitely takes advantage of this and hits Finn with the cave-in for the win. Then, as Finn is still laying on the mat, Damian Priest throws a chair in the ring and hits the Reckoning on Finn on the chair. He tells Balor that he's the one that took him out weeks ago. I think this is a little interesting. I mean, it's good that they got Damian Priest out of the Keith Lee battle and they're moving on. But I'm not sure that Damian Priest and Finn Balor are going to be that interesting. I'm not into Damian Priest. And this is a signal to me that NXT doesn't think Walter is going to be able to come into this country anytime soon. They're moving Finn on to the next program. Then we get another match. We get Jack Gallagher and Swerve Scott for the interim cruiserweight tournament. However, as Swerve Scott is coming down the ramp, making his way to the ring, Tony Nese decides to attack him. Nese is upset about Swerve's comments about how he couldn't win a match. Afterwards, Gallagher and Scott go back and forth, which to me shows just how far out of favor Gallagher has fallen. Because if this was a year ago, or maybe even a year and a half ago, Gallagher would have won this going away. But it ends up being a back and forth, and it almost ends up kind of boring. Swerve ended up getting a roundhouse elbow from Jack Gallagher, and Jack Gallagher won the match. Then we get the third match in a row. See what I mean? We had a bunch of promos and video packages, and now we're having a bunch of matches. It's like somebody put this together and didn't know what they were doing. But our next match is Caden Carter versus Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah started off running away with this match until Robert Stone came out acting like he was really impressed with Aaliyah. Then Caden Carter surprised her and ended up rolling her up quickly after blocking Aaliyah's moonsault, and then got her in the figure four and made Aaliyah tap. Robert Stone shakes his head and walks away, and as he's walking away, Aaliyah grabs his wrist to try to talk to him. However, Robert Stone just walks away. Then I think we get the most interesting promo of the night from Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. They're celebrating Johnny Gargano's big victory. Johnny says if Dominik Dijakovic took Keith Lee to the limit, then Keith Lee must be a joke. And then Candice starts talking about how she beat Casey Catanzaro and how Casey is just like Mia Yim. They get a lot of opportunities handed to them, and then they just lose. So it seems to me like Johnny Gargano is going after Keith Lee next. And he says that Keith Lee isn't strong enough to handle the fans' adoration. Not real sure what Johnny means by that, but I'm looking forward to Johnny versus Keith Lee. I think that's going to be an excellent setup, and it's going to be excellent for Johnny Gargano's heel turn, because we all know Candice LeRae is somehow going to get involved and cost Keith Lee his title, and Johnny Gargano is going to be the North American NXT champion. Now, the main event tonight, of course, is Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher. This ended up being a really good match. Thatcher looked good against Riddle, and they both showed off their wrestling techniques. Thatcher went for an awful lot of submissions, especially wrist locks, arm bars, things like that. Riddle, however, ended up at the end rolling Thatcher over for the pin, and Thatcher was totally shocked. He ended up getting really upset. He hit Riddle from behind and then got him in an arm bar. Riddle ends up tapping out to the referee as Thatcher is looking into the camera when the show goes off. Overall, it was a good show. It wasn't great. I think that NXT was a lot stronger in the beginning on USA Network. Back in, I guess it was the third week of September, when they first showed up, they had a lot of strong characters, they had a lot of strong storylines, and they brought it every single week. Now, a lot of those characters have moved up to Raw or SmackDown, or they've gotten injured. The ones that are still around, I don't know, their storylines now seem convoluted. And it seems like they're not planning as far ahead in advance as what they were and telling a good straight line storyline. It's like these storylines have got twists and curves and swerves and all of that. And that's not what NXT was about. It was about good, strong storylines with even better matches. And I feel like we're just not getting that anymore. What do you guys think is NXT's issue? You guys have got to write me at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter or on Facebook on Wrestling Overtime, because I want to know what you guys think. We all can see that NXT's ratings are falling, and they're falling tremendously. What's the issue? Triple H is still in charge. So what is the issue? Why are they going downhill? I don't know. I just can't figure it out. So you guys have got to let me in on the secret. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. That's tonight's Raves and Rants, and I will be talking to you guys soon.